Okay guys, welcome to a new video, and today it's all about mindset. Okay, I would like to approach the things that actually have shifted a lot and improved a lot my life towards mindset. And for this I need to get back to basically 3 years ago, where I started to implement one of the first things that helped me to stack, for instance, new habits and you could say victories along the day, and to wake up earlier and earlier every single day. I could sum up all of this about how to build an unbreakable mindset towards doing every day the uncomfortable. When you prove yourself you can do uncomfortable things, you're actually building mindset every single time. So for me, there are four things that actually help me, I would say, amazingly in life. That was to wake up before the day starts, to cook my own food, to actually force myself to eat healthy. And for healthy, I mean whole foods, non-processed foods. Before, I wasn't like that. I was basically chips and snacks and frozen pizza and you name it, all of these that we all know. Working out every day, and for this I'm gonna develop also that, and also studying every day. One of the reasons why I felt I got in debt so badly when I was 24, and that has conditioned my entire life, was that I wasn't prepared enough. I wasn't developed enough in terms of knowledge, in terms of obviously experience. I didn't have, because I was 24, but I didn't also push my boundaries towards knowledge. And to be someone which has no knowledge, actually it could be potentially leading to a disaster, as it happened to me. So when I got to my 40s, I started to implement that waking early habit. And I remember, and I can tell you this, I was one guy that was waking up without alarm whenever the day basically opened for me. Sometimes it was at 8, sometimes at 9, sometimes at 10. I never start, usually my working schedule in the barbershop was starting at 12 until pretty much 8 in the evening. So I didn't obviously need a alarm to wake up at 9 or so. Okay, I was waking up by itself, and I was going to bed basically around midnight or 11, things like that. I remember this very well. I was not able to even wake up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. That was such a pain for me, and many times I was even failing constantly. So snoozing the alarm and falling asleep again, and then feeling like crap for not being able to wake up. So I started to build this into something that I reduce 15 to 30 minutes every day or every week, until I managed to actually, right now, I wake up at 3:55 every single day. And I do that for a single reason. I wake up so early because that hour, you could say, between 4 to 5, is my hour for strategic thinking. Is where I reflect, is where I study, or is where I try to improve an area that I haven't been able to get or achieve the results I want. So from 4 to 5, that's where I make a coffee and I drink a coffee and I reflect about the things I can do better, the things that I haven't been doing right, and how can I correct those tasks in order to get better results. So that's the number one. Number two, I hit the gym between quarter past 5 or half past 5. That's basically because I feel like fitness before business is what works best for me. I've been testing several schedules along that, and for me to basically to wake up, and the next task I do is basically to prioritize my health, is what proves me I'm tougher every single day. And the reason because of that is also due to that if you don't put your health in check, if you do not prioritize that, it's very difficult to build all the things along. So I try to run this as a priority and a non-negotiable, and then when I'm done with that, I can take my attention to other tasks that are also important, but they are not number one. Otherwise, I just start to do things in my day and then leave these, and then of course the time gets more inconvenient, and then you run out of time, and then it's like, oh, it's not a good idea, maybe I need to, because other priorities come up throughout the day. And that's something that I realized, that before I was basically getting busier and busier doing things that were leading nowhere. So now it's like I push that and I say, no, these are the things that are for me. Number one is study and reflection, you could say, or mostly reflection. Number two is health, prioritize my health. And after that, I usually go to the barbershop, prepare some of the things for the day, like hot towels, the coffee, and just to make things smoother. So when we open up the shop, everything is in place and there is no stress, there is no rushing. Okay. The next thing I do is basically studying, and I wouldn't say that to prepare the things of the barbershop is a habit that, but it's somehow uncomfortable because I'm hitting the barbershop at 6 a.m., 6:30, and I also have to, it takes me like 45 minutes to an hour to prepare all of this, and then get back home by 7. And at 7 is when I study, and I cook also my own meals. That's also the things that push me to actually not going towards processed food or prep foods, because before I was kind of cutting down time and taking things that I could basically put in the oven or microwave, or eating things that are already pre-made. So if I have to sum up all of this, would be my mindset has been built out of proving myself I can take action into uncomfortable things, that also have proved myself that I have a very strong discipline, because that discipline bleeds to anything else. So if I have to put in my non-negotiables regarding my lifestyle and how I foresee my life in the future, that would be waking up 4 a.m. I'm not going to stop doing that ever, because that clarity you get when you wake up so early and you reflect, I cannot get it in any other moment of the day. Number 2, hit the gym. Health before the rest, because if you don't have health in check, there is nothing else you can build. Number 3, cook my own food and avoid any kind of processed foods. And number 4 is to study. I study every day. My interests are actually more towards, you could say, fitness also. I study about fitness. I like that because it's really interesting to know and understand how the metabolism and the body works in terms of exercising and in terms of self-regulation and how things get processed through our systems. The other thing I study daily is finance. So I check the markets. I try to understand the cycles better and better and better, so to develop my skill into that, because that's where my passion lays. So I've been always pushing that away from me, and I discovered that this is actually a true passion I have for a stock exchange. But guess what? When you are reactive, you cannot invest in the stock exchange, because then is when you take your emotions into investing, and then you panic, you take the wrong decisions. So many times I place an order, or maybe I have a position open, and there is a drawdown of maybe 15-18%. When you see your numbers bleeding, believe me, it's not a very pleasant situation. So if you don't have the mindset built, if you don't kind of trust your strategy, trust the process, it's nearly impossible that you don't get into a reactive mode. And that's actually what has helped me a lot to build that mindset first towards those clean habits that actually I can put into something else and feel like, okay, I'm chill. I know my strategy works. It has proved me it does. So I cannot react or panic because now one stock is actually down more than 10%. Okay. So the way to put this into practice, I would say, is not to copy anybody's routine. That's something that for me is like, I've been doing these things and I realize, well, it feels good for me, so why I should stop doing these things? I'm gonna keep doing it because it has improved my life. When I look back and I see where I was a year or 2 years ago, where am I now, I feel like, wow, it's mind blowing. So you don't have to copy anything. You just have to test things and see what works best for you. If it feels good, keep going. If it's something that feels off with your energy and so on, but guess what? It has to be something that when nobody's watching, there is no consequences. Let's say there is no boss, there is no family, there is nobody is gonna tell you, oh, you didn't do that. You need to do it voluntarily. So you need to put yourself into situations that feels uncomfortable and do it voluntarily. Because if not, nothing is gonna change. You're not gonna get a millionaire out of waking up early, or you're not gonna get an amazing body composition because suddenly you just eat broccoli and stuff like that. No, it doesn't work like that. But when you do these things, you prove yourself day by day that you are tougher and tougher and you can handle pressure. That's exactly the key. Otherwise, you get into a reactive, let's say, emotion setup, and then you crave, you snack, you eat things that you shouldn't, or you order fast food, or whatever it is that gives you an instant gratification. So when you think about how to build a mindset, is basically like to prove yourself you are stronger, you are not weak, you do not fall into what's easy, what everybody can do. That could be, I don't know, of course, if you think about waking up early or sleeping, everybody would prefer to sleep longer, right? So to wake up early, it's uncomfortable. When you think about study or watching a TV series and distracting yourself, of course, everybody would prefer the easy, which is watch Netflix and distract yourself rather than study. But what are the consequences after that? So for me, it's like when I did the other stuff, distracting, sleeping longer, I didn't have any good results. So now I'm actually doing the opposite and I can feel already that I'm going on the right way. So think about that. Think about the consequences that these habits that you are doing right now could or are having in your life, the impact that are actually proving yourself in your life. And if you're not happy with that, you have to change those things. So start with a small action, a small task, and then try to pile one victory over the other. And then this is actually how you prove yourself that you get stronger and stronger in your mindset, because that's the key. And actually, for myself, to go to the gym every single day also has helped me a lot to build that discipline, to prove myself that I'm tougher and tougher. Another thing is like, okay, you want a certain physique, okay? So I also realized that what was good for a mindset build, for mindset building was not good for muscle building because I was not able to recover fast enough. So then I had to space my strength training. So for 24, 48 hours or in order to recover, because if I hit the next session and I don't feel recovered, then I'm not actually building muscle, but actually I'm destroying the process of recovery. But I still go to the gym and do cardio. I walk on the mill for 30, 45, 1 hour, depending on the day. So this is non-negotiable. I am every single day in the gym. Another thing is that one day I do strength training, another day I do cardio and core. I basically tighten my abs to have the six-pack in check. And yeah, that's basically what has helped me along these 3 years, I would say, of slow but steady transformation. So I encourage you to test it, to try things, and I don't know, maybe drop me in the comments below if what are you struggling with? What is the area of your life that you feel is more difficult to follow? Is basically the mindset. I know a lot of people have struggles with that, to follow maybe a diet, to follow maybe a training program, to follow maybe the discipline of setting money aside in order to invest and generate passive income. I don't know, you name it. There are many different ways to feel the struggle. So I would like you to tell me what is the most difficult part to follow, and I try to help you. I will read all the comments and try to help you with that. So this is it. I wanted just to share the things that helped me a lot to build a tough mindset or an unbreakable mindset. I hope you guys learned something interesting, and I'll see you in the next video.